After losing everything I own to the 2019 bushfires in Australia, I've rebuilt my life and plan on travelling to every continent with my Africa twin. Join me on this adventure as I rise from the ashes of my former life. G'day folks, good morning and welcome back to the channel. My name's Simon. If this happens to be your first time here, this channel is all about motorcycles, adventure, camping and touring. Haven't been doing quite as much camping as what I wanted. We'll get to that at some point. So, I'm a little bit lax with doing this. Let's get in a bit closer. So, last time I updated this, I'd managed to get down as far as Sydney. So we went down through Sydney, down along the coastline here to just before Wollongong, and then we shot back up through to Picton and Thirlmere, and then from there we came down all the way along through past Canberra here. Again, I managed to miss Canberra again, and then we came down. Actually, I think we came down through the middle here, somewhere there, and we came to the Bega Valley. So after a couple of nights there, from the Bega Valley, I went back up over the mountains up through here to Bombala, and then up and over the mountains through to the Snowy River National Park to Buchan, which is where I am right now. In Buchan, so just here. So the plan for today is to actually go further across Gippsland, which is this part of the Victorian state, and to get to a place called Walhalla, which is a ghost town. We'll see about that. Okay, so my first stop for the morning is to go and get some fuel and some food. I'm pretty sure there's a little roadhouse here that has both. It's only a tiny town, and as much as the motel was very nice, it was also very expensive. Look at that view though, wow, that's gorgeous. Hello horsey. You know that bit when you stop to change the camera battery on your helmet camera and you find out that the microphone wasn't plugged in? I know I seem to do a lot of tarmac riding. You know, I mean, yesterday I spent most of the day on dirt up in the mountains, but I do a lot of tarmac riding because sometimes, well, I mean, yesterday it took me 4 or 5 hours, maybe 5 hours, maybe 6 hours, I don't know. It took me a long time to cover a relatively short distance because I was way up in the mountains, and of course my being scared of heights made that worse because every corner, the thing that ran through my mind was, what if I slip off the edge of the road? So I rode even slower. But I spend a fair bit of time on roads like this whenever I can, you know. They're not main highways, they're not main roads, they're just the little back roads with weird ass little corners like that in them. And this is good fun. This for me is getting out and adventuring, you know, seeing the beauty of the countryside, the beauty of Australia. I mean, I think soon I actually have to go onto a main road, onto a main highway, but I don't know. The route that I've plotted hopefully avoids the Prince's Highway with any luck. Yep, this is the sort of road that I love, you know. It's in good enough condition that you can ride fairly fast. And like, I mean, I'm not pushing it. I've got no major issues with the time that I've got as my projected arrival time, which is about another 2.5 hours, 2 hours 37 minutes to go, and I've got 181 kilometres. So, you know, a lot of that I'm taking a lot longer than what I should be, simply because I'm taking these roads because I want to be able to share with you guys the beauty of this country and just how much of a good country it is for motorbike touring as well. Like, yes, it's been cold, yes, it's been windy, yes, it's been wet. Everything happens just like everywhere else on Earth. But you know what though, like, we still don't really have an off-riding season. I mean, I wouldn't go riding up through the snowy mountains in winter. That would just be dangerous and stupid. I mean, for me, some people would probably love it. But, you know, we're now in April. Now in May. We're now in May. So, you know, we're literally just coming into winter now, and it's currently 17 degrees. Beautiful sunny day. You know, and this is perfect riding weather. And look, I hate to rub it in for those of you who don't have, you know, who have an off season, a riding season and an off season. But really, if you want to ride all year round, Australia is definitely the place to be for it. So the twat nav was just telling me to turn left onto the A1 and then make a U-turn. I just turned right. I mean, why wouldn't it tell you just to turn right? There's nothing to stop you turning right. See, this is where Garmin really needs to pick up their game. It does dumb shit like that. I mean, I remember we had a Garmin in a police car in the UK, and it took us around in a circle while we're running around with lights and sirens on, trying to find somewhere. Took us in a circle for no reason. After that, I turned it off every time I was in that car, and I used my TomTom. And I swore off Garmin forever at that time. However, Garmin do make a reasonably good sat nav for on a motorcycle, and that's the only reason why I got one. Oh, look at that. Pretty. So I've just been stopped for like the last hour. Ooh, it's the Wok Bridge over the Mitchell River. It's a nice river too. Wow. Very nice. And I've adjusted my destination for today to Traralgon, because I think that's my best bet of finding some cheapish accommodation, as opposed to going directly to Valhalla and potentially paying another $160 a night, which is what last night's motel cost. So we're adjusting the route slightly. Go to Traralgon and maybe see if the caravan park there, I think there's a caravan park, has some cabins in it that I can rent. If I can rent a cabin for 2 or 3 nights, then brilliant. I can sit there and get all my editing done and up to date. Ah, fuck at that. Telfer Hill. As you travel around Australia, and I've travelled a lot of Australia, like driving trucks and buses and coaches and so on, one of the things that you find travelling around Australia is that it is actually a very flat continent. Yes, we do have mountain ranges, things like the Great Dividing Range and the Snowy Mountains and that sort of thing. We do have mountain ranges, and yes, it's very undulating, up and down, up and down, up and down, riding through all of that. But by and large, there's huge open swathes of land like this, where it's just flat. And it's always kind of interesting, you know, like to see these big, flat, open expanses like this. Because I'm not sure there's another continent on Earth that has such a flat open landscape for huge, like thousands of kilometres of it. I mean, possibly looking at, say, Siberia. I don't know if Siberia's got a lot of hills in it or not. Somebody could tell me about that, you know, like, I haven't been to Siberia, I haven't been to Russia. And right at this particular point in time with what's going on, I probably wouldn't go there, which is a shame because I'd love to go see Russia, particularly places like St. Petersburg. You know, like, are there other places on Earth? I suppose even Canada up in the north, you know, where it's just all ice. That could be quite flat. I honestly don't know. I know America has a lot of flat land, but thousands and thousands of square kilometres of just flatness? I don't know. These are just random thoughts that I have while riding along through the flat countryside, you know. And, yeah, trying not to get too bored by the fact that this is a big, fast road. Mind you though, a big, fast road that does have corners on it, so I've got to watch out for that. So I don't know what that is over there, spewing out pollution. I feel like, I mean, it's even got clouds above it. Probably a power station, I would guess. But oh, it's horrible to suddenly see that, you know, across this beautiful wide landscape, all these smokestacks spewing out shit. Like I say, it's probably a power station, just at a guess. But yeah. We'll just go past for the hell of it. I'm actually hoping to find accommodation in Traralgon because that puts me much closer to Valhalla, which is good. Because tomorrow my plan would be to go up to Valhalla, spend the day up there exploring and looking around and hopefully going down into one of the mines, and then I can come back to my accommodation in Traralgon. It's about 45 minutes or something between the two, and get back to video editing again. I mean, that would be ideal. Unfortunately though, in this country, accommodation is really expensive. Welcome back on today's episode of Simon's Right to Food. Simon is starving. Gotta see about getting some food very shortly. This morning's burger was great, but yeah, the effect wore off after a while. So I do believe that I'm coming into Traralgon now. Oh, look at that. Escalade. Cadillac. Nice. We're getting more and more American utes here, or pickup trucks for the Americans. And I actually really quite like them. Like, I mean, they look so good. I mean, most of them are really, really big though. That bit's kind of a bit weird. Like, you know, look at a Dodge Ram. Like, wow, it's huge. You got an Aldi supermarket. You know, Dodge Ram is huge. But over the last few years, our vehicle sizes in this country have increased dramatically. I mean, even a Commodore got much bigger over the last few years of its life, you know. There we go, J-car. I don't like that cars. They're just sitting like right on my corner. I mean, go past or stay back, one or the other. Don't sit right beside me, like right on my corner, so that if I have to move over, I've got to go through you first. Like, wow.